In this question, it says Beena incurs 19% loss when she sells a product at 4860 to Shyam. While reading this, we can do one thing. We know that if we assume cost price to be C, 19% loss, that means it is being sold at 81%. So 81% of C, that is the cost price, must be equal to 4860. And this must be for whom? For Beena. Which gives us enough, insight into calculating the value of C. This is 6 times 60, so I'll get C as 6,000. Okay. Just by reading the first line, this is solved. Who in turn sells this product to Hari? If Beena would have sold this product to Shyam at the purchase price of Hari, okay, she would have obtained 17% profit. The profit in rupees made by Shyam is what? Perfect. She would have made this much profit. So profit is made on cost price only. So if I have like 17% profit over here, I'll have to just multiply 6,000 with 1.17. So what do I get? 6,000 multiplied by 1.17. 6 into 17 is how much? It's 1020. So I'll get 7020 in this case. So basically Shyam has done the same, So for Shyam, the cost price, all right, for Shyam. For Shyam, the cost price is 4860 and the selling price is that 7020. Loads of profit. And it asks profit in rupees made by Shyam. In rupees, not even percentage. So basically we have to just subtract C from S. When we do that, what do we get? 0, 6, 1, 2. 2160 will be the correct answer. Thank you. A vessel contained a certain amount of solution of acid in water. When 2 liters of water was added to it, the new solution had 50% acid concentration. When 15 liters of acid was further added to this new solution, the final solution had 80% acid concentration. Okay. Ratio of water and acid in the original solution. Original solution was what? So if you look at this, after adding 2 liters of water. So if I assume, that water initially water was, let's say, W, then when 2 liters is added to it, it became W plus 2, the water, right? So there is one thing for sure, isn't it? And that is that after adding 2 liters of water, the concentration of acid was 50%. What does that mean? That half was acid and half was water. We know this, and that is where we'll be able to calculate our answer. So that means W plus 2 was the acid actually, and water was just W initially. What was W initially, and W plus 2 was the quantity of acid initially. That is why when they added 2 liters of water, both became equal. Okay, so now when 15 liters of acid was further added to this new, so we have W plus 2 plus 15. The final solution had 80% acid concentration. Okay, W plus 2 plus 15 this whole will be how much? So after adding 2 liters of water, it was W plus 2, and now it will be W overall. So acid, this whole W plus 2, that was already there, plus 15, and the water is W plus 2 again, right? So this was initial, and when we reached here, both were same. So that is why this W plus 2 is 15 is acid and this is water. So now this is the final concentration, which is 80%. So this will be equal to 80 upon 100. Let's solve it. We'll get the answer now. So we have W plus 17 whole upon 2W plus 4 plus 19. That is equal to 80 by 100 is 4 by 5. We can solve it. What do we need? We need ratio of water and acid in the original solution. Okay, cool. So let's solve it. Cross multiplying, 5W plus 85 will be equal to 8W plus 76, which gives us 85 minus 7 is 9. So 9 is equal to 3W, which means W is equal to 3. When W is 3, W plus 2 is 5. So water and acid is 3:5. Option B. You enjoyed the solution, I think, because I started with 50% thing, otherwise I would have got stuck. Thank you. Amal and Vimal together can complete a task in 150 days, while Vimal and Sunil together can complete the same task in 100 days. Amal starts working. There's a lot of data here, so we can do one thing. We can just assume that the units of work that they are doing per day each. Let me assume that Amal does, let's say, A units of work per day, Vimal does V units of work per day, and Sunil does S units of work per day. So now it will be easy for us to write everything down. Amal and Vimal in 150 days would be doing how much work? 150A plus 150V, that's total amount of work. Second case, Vimal and Sunil, they are doing it in same task in 100 days. Vimal and Sunil, that means 100 times S plus 100 times V must be again the same amount of work. Amal starts working on the task and works for 75 days. So he must have done 75 A units of work in 75 days. Then Vimal takes over and works for 135 days. So 135 times V, that is what the job is done by Vimal. Finally, Sunil takes over and completes the remaining task in 45 days. So Sunil must have done 45 S units of work. And the work got completed. So all these values are equal in terms of total work. If Amal had started task alone and worked on all days, Vimal had worked on every second day, Sunil had worked on every third day, number of days required to complete the task would have been how much? Okay. So Amal is working every day, Vimal every second day, and Sunil every third day. So basically, if I make the cycles, because they're not doing the same work every day, so let's make the cycles. What if I take 6 days work? So this will be kind of easy for us. In 6 days, Amal would have worked all 6 days, while this guy Vimal would have worked for 3 days, because he is working every second day, and Sunil must have worked for 2 days. So I'll just write here Amal, Vimal and Sunil. Amal works for all 6 days, Vimal for 3 days, Sunil for just 2 days. So we'll keep this in mind, but first let's solve that. So based on this, we'll need a relation of AVS, and putting it there, we'll be able to answer the entire question. Okay, so all things are equal. I can equate, first of all, let me do one thing. Let this be first expression, let this be second expression, and let this be third expression. So what can be done first of all? Let's solve 1 and 2. They are equal, right? We can equate them. So once I equate them, what do I get? 150A plus 150V is equal to 100S plus 100V. So solving it further, I will get 150A, this goes here, plus 50 times V is equal to 100 times S. That's what we have. I can divide this whole by 50. So I will get 3A, is 50 times 3 is 150. 3A plus V is equal to 2S. Now let this be equation number 4. This is going to be useful for us. Once we have obtained that, let us solve some other equation. So now I can equate 1 and 3. That can be done. Let's equate 1 and 3. So the moment I do it, okay, what do I get? 1 and 3. 150A, 75A. So I'm just writing it directly. I'll get 75A on the left hand side, 150 minus 75, then plus 15V. Okay, and is equal to 45S. So, but dividing by 15 everything, I'll get 5A plus V is equal to 3 times S. Can I do something over here? Yes, let this be question number 5. So if you see here, V has come only once, so I can definitely subtract 4th from 5th. The moment I do it, V gets cancelled out, and I'm getting 2A is equal to S. This is the moment of enlightenment, and now we'll get all the values, right? So the moment I got 2A is equal to S, I can just put it either in equation 4 and equation 5 to get the value of V as well in terms of S or whatever, right? So if I put, let's say S is 2A here, then 3 into 2 is 6A. So 6A. So 5A comes there, that means V will be equal to A. So V is equal to A and S is equal to 2A and A is A in itself. Done. So basically now our life is simple. So in this 6 days for Amal, he must have done 6 A units of work. This guy Vimal, he's doing like every 3 days, and Vimal V is equal to A actually. So he is doing V units of work, I can say A units of work only, right? There will be 3A. And this guy is doing 2A units of work. So 2 into 2A, that comes out to be 4A. So 6 plus 3, 9 plus 4, 13. So these guys are doing 13A units of work in 6 days. So much to do. Okay, now, are we clear? Yes. But what is the total work? That we don't know yet. So for that, I can put the value of VSA in either of these equations and get my answer sorted. So let me choose first one. I can choose anything. So this is 150A plus, now V is A only. So this is 150A again. So overall work comes out with 300A. 300A is the work that has to be done. They're doing 13 units work per every 6 days. So if I divide this with 13A, what do I get? 13. Ones are 13. Now we have 13 to the 26. Okay, so 26. 4 3s are 39 and 1. 23 1 by 13 slots are there. One slot is composed of 6 days. 23 slots will be composed of how many days? 23 into 6 is how much? 6 2 12, 6 3 18, 138 days completely. 138 days completely, and in the end, one more day will be there. So number of days required will be 138, because we have fraction of work still left, is 1 by 13. So 1 by 13 of these 6 days is 6 by 13 only. 23, 1 by 13 will be 138 point something. So overall, the days required will be 139 days. Though not completely, but that is what our answer will be. Thank you. This question says 3 circles of equal radii touch but not cross each other externally. So if I draw these circles, it will look something like this. Equal radii, so they are equal circles. This is how they will look like. Great. 2 circles X and Y are drawn such that both touch but do not cross each of the 3 previous circles. How can that be done? That can be done by 2 ways. One, if I draw it inside, and other outside. That is the only way you can draw 2 circles that touch all 3 circles but do not cross each other. The radius of X is more than that of Y. So basically the outer circle is X, inner circle is Y. Ratio of radii of X and Y is what? This is question mark. Okay. Alright. So we can do one thing. We can assume, let's say, the radius of these yellow circles is R each. If I join them all, I'll get an equilateral triangle, isn't it? They're equispaced. Okay. Also, what if I assume the radius of the inner circle to be small r, this to be small r, then, now I'll just kind of, magnify this part. So you will, and let me join this center to this. This part will look like what? This triangle will look like what? This triangle here, this is R. All right. Okay. Looks good. What else? This, no. Basically, you can see one thing here. While doing this, that's a kind of tangent. So this will be, if I join this, right? This will be 90 degree, isn't it? So that means, if I assume that this is 90 degree, okay, so this will be R, and this will be how much? This thing will be how much? Let's check out that, and this will be R plus R. That is going to be there. This will be how much? We don't really know. Let it be. We don't know. So this is 90. And as this is equilateral triangle, this will be 30 each. So we have this is R, this is R plus R, this is 30 degree. So ultimately this will be 60 degree. So I can get the ratio of R to R plus R. by using 30, 60, 90 angle property. So this will be how much? This will be equal to root 3 by 2. Yeah, root 3 by 2. All right. So the side opposite to 60 degree will be having root 3 as the in the terms of ratios, and that 2 opposite to 90 degree will be having 2. This is what we get. Once we get that, we can solve it for the relation of capital R and small r. We'll get this r root 3 plus small r root 3. Now having said that, what will be the value of small r? This I will get it as, so 2r, taking r common, I'll have 2 minus root 3 whole upon root 3. That is going to be value of the small r. Value of small r. Okay. So now we need to find what? We need to find the ratio of the radii of x and y. So radii here, this radii of the outer circle, this will be how much? This is r, so r plus small r, r plus small r to the y, that is small r. That is what we need to find out. Well, that can be found out easily, not a difficult task here. The small r, right? Okay, let's put the values. So we'll be having here 2r plus that r, small r, that is this, plus r times 2 minus root 3 upon root 3 whole upon r times 2 minus root 3 whole upon root 3. So this is how we can solve the equation. By the way, r gets cancelled out. So all we are left with is a simple ratio. Let's try and solve this. If I solve it like taking r common, r will be cancelled out. We'll be left with 2 plus this 2 minus root 3 upon root 3 in the numerator whole upon 2 minus root 3 whole upon root 3. So let's solve it. 2 root 3. So what do we get in the numerator? 2 root 3 plus 2 minus root 3. So we'll get 2 minus root 3 only in the numerator, right? Root 3, 2 root 3 plus 2 minus root 3. So 2 plus root 3 is what we get. And the denominator we get 2 minus root 3 only, and the root 3 that is there will get cancelled out. This is what we have. Okay. Do we have any options like such? No. I can rationalize it by multiplying it with 2 plus root 3 in the numerator as well as denominator. So if you see the denominator, this is a plus b. A minus b multiplied by a plus b is a square minus b square. So 2 square minus square of root 3, that is 1. So left with square of 2 plus root 3, that will be 4 plus 3, that is 7 plus 4 root 3. Do we have that? 7 plus 4 root 3 is to 1. Yes, C will be the correct answer. Thank you. A company has 40 employees whose names are listed in a certain order. In the year 2022, the average bonus of first 30 employees was rupees 40,000. The last 30 was rupees 60,000, and of the first 10 and last 10 together was 50,000. We have 40 employees, right? And 10. So let me do one thing. So let me say that there are groups of 10 employees each. First 10, second 10, third 10. I don't need to draw the lines here. So let's say the groups are first 10, second 10, third 10, and fourth 10. So what is given over there? The first 30 employees bonus was, average bonus was 40,000. I'll make a proper chart here so that we have all the information with us. This is 30,000, 30K. Okay, average 40,000. I'm so sorry. All right. For the last 30, so I'll change the color also so that there's no confusion. Last 30 will be these. For them, the average is 60,000, the 60K. Okay. The first 10 is only this. I'll just write here. First 10 and last 10 together. Okay. First 10 and last 10 together. All right. So let's do one thing. I'll change the color. I'll take blue. First 10 and last 10. These guys, their average was combined 50K. Okay, so we are sorted now. We don't have to look at the question again and again. Next year, the average bonus of first 10 employees increased by 100%. The last 10 employees increased by 200%. I'll just write that information also, so that in the end we just have to solve things. I'll choose some color. Okay, fluorescent yellow. So first 10 increased by 100%. I just write here. Last 10 increased by 200%. And the remaining employees, it was constant, you know, for both these they were constant. So now we have to find the average bonus in rupees of all 40 together in the year 2023 is what? So far, so good. So now we can just, you know, kind of write stuff. So let us say that the average bonus of first 10 was, let's say A. Okay, average bonus. First 10 employees. So that means 10A must be the total bonus. For second, let it be 10B. Third, let it be 10C, and for the fourth, let it be 10D. This is the entire bonus, overall bonus. Okay, and divide by 40 is what we need to calculate, isn't it? We need to find this. Not we need to calculate this. First we calculate this. This will for 22 year 22. For 23, we'll just increase the bonuses by 100%. Everywhere. So I'll just write, you know, no need to calculate even this. If I increase 100%, this by 100%, this will become 20A, right? This will not be changed. 10B only remains constant. This 200%, so this becomes 20 more, then 30. So 30D will be there. Upon 40 is what we need to calculate. This will be our happy answer. Okay. So we have done all the things. Now we just need to do some calculations and we will be sorted. So let's do it. I'll change the colors so that you get exact idea. Yellow one, A, B, C. A, B, C. Okay, so 10A plus 10B plus 10C is the total bonus of the first 30 employees. So 40,000 is the average. All 30 are there. So 40,000 into 30 is what we get. So we'll get 12 lakhs. Let me write that as 1200K. Okay, I'll K because we don't have much space here. Okay, coming to that green ink. That is B, C, and D. So we have 10B plus 10C plus 10D will be equal to 60 multiplied by 30. So that'll be 1800K. K here is 1000. I hope you understand that. And then blue ones. So blue ones is the middle, the first and last. That is 10A plus what? Plus 10D. This guy is equal to 50K. And the 20 in total, so 50K multiplied by 20, 500K. There'll be 1000K. Now our life is pretty simple, isn't it? Based on this, can we calculate the values of A, B, C, D? Obviously, we have to do that. That's the only way to solve this question. Okay, so here it says, see, 10A plus 10D is what we know. What if I take, okay, let me change the color. I assume this is first equation, second equation, third equation. So you see here that if I subtract, equation 2 from equation 1, what do I get? 10B, 10C will get cancelled out. So all I will left with is, or let me subtract not 2 from 1, but the reverse of it, because 1800K is more. Okay, so let me subtract 1 from 2. The moment I do it, what do I get? 10B, 10C get cancelled out. So we have 10D minus 10A to be equal to 600K. And from third equation we can see this 10A plus 10D. So 10D, I just reversed it so that I can calculate easily. 10D plus 10A is 1000K. Wow. So let this be equation number 4. Equation number 5. Now if I add these two equations, 10A gets cancelled out and I get, so 4 plus 5, if I do that, I'll get 20D should be equal to 1600K, or putting it simply, D will be equal to 80,000. So D is 80,000. Moment I got the value of D, I'll get all the values, isn't it? So D is 80K. Let's put it here. So I'll just take a space here and write all the stuff. So I put D as 80K over here. This is 800K. So minus 200K will be value of minus 10A, which means the value of A will be 20K. That's great. We got the value of A and D both. A and D both. We didn't get the value of B and C. Do we require it? Not really. Why? Because they have not really changed. 10B plus 10C is what they have not changed. So if I put the value of A as 20K in this 20K, this means 200K goes there. So 10B plus 10C, 200K goes there. This becomes 1000K. And we are not even concerned about, what's the value of B and C, because it's in the end, it's 10B plus 10C only. Let's put the values and get the answer. So A is 20K, 20 into 20K is 400K here, 400K. These two guys add up to 1000K. D is 80K, 30 into 80 is 2400, right? 2004, that's a lot. 2400K whole upon 40 is what we need to calculate. So 24, 28, 2800 is there, 3800 upon 40. 3800K, K is 1000 upon 40. That is what we need to calculate. Average bonus of all the employees. Perfect. So 4 9s are 36, 4 5s are 20, followed by 3 zeros. So 95,000 is our answer. Loads of calculation, but yeah, if you use simple, some basic logic, basic stuff, we can get the answer quickly. Thank you. If x and y are real numbers such that 4x squared plus 4y squared minus 4xy minus 6y plus 3 equals, you find the value of 4x plus 5y. So in the classes I have discussed the method of the perfect squares. So I see a perfect square over here? Can I see that? Is that possible? Okay, this is 4x squared, is square of 2x, right? And anything else apart from that? This is 6y, this is 4xy. So if I take 2x, then y should be taken out singly. So, okay, let us do one thing. Let us assume 2x, assume. Why I'm assuming? Because 2x, the square of 2x is 4x squared, and square of y is of course y square, right? So here why I did that, because if I look at this value is minus 4xy, which is in this, if it is a minus b whole square, I'll get minus 2ab. So this is only 2x, that means y should be coming only once. That is the reason. So if I take the square of it, I'll get 4x square minus 4xy plus y square. And that's the reason I took it in the first chance. So this is what we have, and y square, there's 3y square more. So let me rewrite this entire thing as this y square plus 3y square. So 4x square, y square and minus 4xy will be nothing but square of 2x minus y. The remaining thing is 3y square minus 6y plus 3. This whole is equal to 0. So we will get 2x minus y whole square. Let's take 3 common. I'll be left with y square minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. As you see here, that this thing in bracket is nothing but square of y minus 1 is equal to 0. So as you can see, we have two perfect squares, isn't it? This is and this, both are perfect squares. Both are perfect squares. So they are always greater than or equal to 0. Nothing else. Can never be negative. So the only way that the sum of these two becomes 0 is that they are 0 themselves. So 2x minus y must be 0. At the same time, y minus 1 must be 0. So if this is 0, I'll get y as 1. Putting it here, I'll get x as 1 by 2. So x is 1 by 2, y is 1. That's what the value is. Let's put it here. 4x. 4 into 1 by 2 is 2. 5y. 5 into 1 is 5. So 4x plus 2y is 4 into 1 by 2 plus 2 into 1. So you get 2. And did I do some? There's 5y, not 2y. I'm so sorry. So 2 plus 5 is what we get. That is equal to 7. That's our happy answer. Thank you. If a, b and c are positive real numbers such that a is greater than 10 and b and c both are less than or at max equal to 10, and this is what is given to us, then the greatest possible integer value of a is, wow. This question has got so many elements. Logs are there, then a lot of logical evaluation will be there, because we have to find the greatest possible integer. What needs to be done? Okay, let's do one thing. This is 8, this is 2, I need 2 here, somehow I need 2 here. I'll just do one thing. I'll write log base 2, and here it's a plus b to the power 1 by 3, and my life will be sorted. Having the same basis actually, solves a lot of purpose. 27 is 3 cube. Let's put 1 by 3 in the power here, and then we have log c, the base is 3. Perfect. This is equal to 2 by 3. Also, by change of base, I can just write, because base is common, I can write log a plus b to the power 1 by 3 base c here, plus log a minus b to the power 1 by 3 base c here. How beautiful is this, isn't it? Also, I can take 1 by 3 common, the powers, this can be done here. So this is 2 by 3. If I take 1 by 3 here and taking it common and sending 1 by 3 in the right hand side, I'll get log a plus b base c plus log a minus b base c is equal to 2. Am I right? Yes, I am right. Moreover, now it is log something plus base is common, so I can just multiply things. So I get log a square minus b square base c is equal to 2. That's what we have with us. Now I can just write the value of c square is equal to a square minus b square. What I can see is, does that ring a bell? This rings a bell, right? Something like Pythagoras theorem. So I can write a square plus c square is equal to b square. This looks like a right angle triangle in which b is the hypotenuse and a and c are the perpendicular and base respectively, or vice versa. And it says a is greater than, okay, 10. So we have this with us now. What can be done? So a square minus b square is equal to c square, which also means, so because a is greater, no, it says a is greater than 10. So this is not the correct formulation. Okay, we need to keep this in mind. The correct formulation will be something else. So this, it will be equal to a square is equal to b square plus c square, because a is greater than 10 and b and c are at max 10. So having said that, here also things will definitely change. So a is the longest side of that supposedly right angle triangle. We need to maximize. So b and c at max can be 10 each. So if I put b and c equal to 10, from here, I'll get a square is 10 square plus 10, so this is 200. That means a is equal to 10 root 2. 10 root 2. Root 2 is 1.414. That means a is equal to 14.14 something, right? But they need the integral value, guys. What can be done? It needs the integral value of a, but not of b and c. So we can somehow, manipulate b and c so that it goes nearer and goes to 14 only. That is one way. Also, so that is, because b and c need not be 10 each. They can be 9 point something. So if we lower the value of b and c, if they are 10, we're getting a as 14.14. There will be one possibility in which I'll get a as 14 if I manipulate b and c. Obviously, yes. So 14 can be the greatest possible value of a. So 14 is our happy answer. Hope you enjoyed this solution. Thank you. So we need to find the value of x in this expression. As we can see, x looks very complex now, and the power is 1 by 2. So essentially, when the power is 1 by 2, we need proper x. So let's square it first of all. So the moment I square it, I'll get a square plus b square minus 2ab. So here I'll get x plus 6 root 2 as the square of this whole, plus x minus 6 root 2 minus 2 times this into this. So we'll get x square minus 6 36 72 minus 72 raised to power 1 by 2, and the square of 2 root 2 is 8. That is what we get. And we can see here this thing gets cancelled. So the complexity is getting reduced. Okay, so we have 2x here. What can be done? I can just divide everything by 2 and send x over there. So I'll have what? This 2x goes there. So I'll have minus x square minus 72 whole to the power 1 by 2. And this is 8 minus 2 means 4 minus x. 8 minus 2x. And here we had 2 dividing by 2, we get this. Okay, now we can square it again. So I'll have x square. Square of minus is plus only. We'll get x square minus 72 will be equal to, square of this will be x square minus 8x plus 16. Our life gets sorted very easily. This gets cancelled out. Wow, I'm so happy to look at this. I'll get minus 88 is equal to minus 8x, which essentially means x is equal to 11. Do we have an option? Not really. No problem. It's theta. The answer is 11. Thank you. P, Q, R and S are 4 towns. One can travel between P and Q along 3 direct paths. Between Q and S along 4 direct paths. Between P and R along 4 direct paths. There is no direct path between P and S. Okay, there are a lot of stuff is given. So let us try to make a diagram. This is P, this is Q, this is R, let this be S. So it says P to Q, we have 3 direct paths. Q to Q and S, right? Is that so? Let me, to avoid confusion, let me write R here and S here. So Q to S along 4 direct paths, okay, and between P and R, this will be how much? 4 direct paths. There is no direct path between P and S. P and S, there is no direct path, okay. A few paths from Q and R, for a few paths are there, let that be X, and also between R and S, so let that be Y. Now we have a proper diagram. So we need to, kind of make it as simple as possible. One can travel from P to S, either via Q. Via Q, that means he'll go to Q first, then S first. So 3 paths. For every path taken, will be 4 paths more, so 3 into 4. It will be 12 paths when that guy travels from P to S via Q, then or via R. If it goes from, P to S via R, that means the possibility is it goes from P to, first goes to R, then to S. So 4 here, Y here, so there will be 4Y in totality. Okay, what else? Or via Q followed by R. So it goes to 3 ways to Q, then X ways to R, then Y ways. So 3 into XY. So 3XY. This is respectively in exactly 62 possibilities. This is equal to 62. Okay, we got the first equation. Did we? Okay, we can do one thing. We can write 4Y plus 3XY is equal to 50 to make it simpler, right? That will be a good idea. Or also we can write Y times, taken in bracket 4 plus 3X is equal to 50. Let this be first equation. Okay. One can also travel from Q to R. From Q to R, either directly, that will be Q to R, X ways will be there. Okay, or via P, Q to R via P. So 3 into 4 is 12. First goes to P, then to R. 3 into 4 is 12. Or via S. Going from Q to R via S. How is that possible? So 4 here, Y here. So 4 times Y. In exactly 27 possibilities. This is 27. So this will be, let the equation number 2. Find the number of, not even this 2. Let us solve it further, make it simpler, and then we'll mark that equation. So write it as X plus 4Y is equal to, sending 12 here, I'll get 15. Let this be equation number 2. Perfect. The number of direct paths between Q and R is, so we need to find the value of what? We need to find the value of X. We have all this stuff with us. Did I do it right? Do we have any problem? I don't think so. Okay, so we have all of this. Okay, so Y times 4 plus 3X is given as 50. So Y 4 plus 3X can, assume essentially 50. Y and even 4 plus 3X must be a multiple, a factor of 50. That is something which is there. We understand that quite well, isn't it? Do we? Yeah, we do. Okay. Now, what can be done? Okay, we can do one more thing, without complicating further. As we see that 4Y is common to both these equations. So what if I do not take this, right? My life will be simpler, I think. Let's check out this first. So if I subtract second from 1, right, then what's going to happen? I change the color of the ink. Subtracting 2 from 1. So 4y gets cancelled. All I left is 3xy minus x is equal to 35. This will be simpler, right? So let's take x common, and we have 3y minus 1 is 35. Wow, this looks simpler. So now we see that x and 3y minus 1 both should be factors of 35. So what all possibilities are there? 1 into 35, 5 into 7, right? Or 7 into 5. So x can take the values as 1, x can be 5, x can be 7, and x can be 35. because we have only 4 factors for 35. So when x is 1, if you put 1 over here, then that means 3y minus 1 must be 35. So that also means, I'm doing it orally, right? I think that is okay. If you put x is 1 here, 3y minus 1 is 35, that means 3y is 36, or I can say y is 12. So here I'll write y is 12. Okay. Is that possible? Is it possible? Let's write the values first. So if x is 5, then this is 7. So 3y minus 1 is 7. That means 3y is 8. So y is 8 by 3. We can't have fractional parts. So this case is wrong. When x is 7, so the 5. 7, 5 is 35. So this becomes 5. 3y minus 1 is 5. That means 3y is equal to 6 or y is equal to 2. Okay. That's a possibility. If x is 35 itself, 3y minus 1 is 1. That means 3y is 2 or y is 2 by 3. It can't be fractional. So we have these two cases, x is 1 and y is 12, or x is 7 and y is 2. We need to check whether this is possible or not by putting in different equations. So if I put these values originally in the original equation here, 4 into y, 4 12s are 48, plus it's not satisfying. This can't be, has to be eliminated. Coming to this one, x is 7. I put it here, 4 7s are 28 and y is 2. 4 7s are 28. Plus 3 into 7 into 2. 3 7 is 21 plus 2 is how much? 3, so 21 to 2 is how much? It's 42, right? 3 7s are 21 into 2 is 42. 42 plus 4 into 2. Not 4 into 7, it's 4 into 2. Y is 2. 8 is, so 42 plus 8 is 50. Yeah, it is satisfying. So x is 7, y is 2, nothing else is possible. We needed to find the value of x, and the answer is 7. Can be, it can confuse people. Like even I was thinking where the variables or the stuff, but you need to check out all the cases. That is the only way we can get this right. This question was, I think, a bit tricky. So, but now I think you are happy. Thank you. A bus starts at 9 a.m. and follows a fixed route every day. Okay, let this be the route. One day it traveled at a constant speed of 60 km per hour and reaches destination 3.5 hours later than its scheduled arrival time. So we need to, I should assume some distance here. Let this distance be, this entire distance be, let the speed of the bus be s, usual speed. I'll just write here, usual speed, let that be s, and usual time taken overall, let that be t hours. This is kilometer per hour and t hours. This is st. All right. Now this, what happened one day that traveled 60 km per hour and reached 3.5 hours later. So this will be 60 times t plus 3.5. So we'll solve this equation when the need is required. I'm just writing now all the pointers now. Later than scheduled arrival time. We should do this, because in TST, a lot of variables are there. People can get confused. So I'm just writing things step by step. Okay. Next, it traveled 2/3 of its route. 2/3. Let's say this is 2/3 of the route. Okay, 2/3 of its route, that is 2st by 3, in 1/3 of its total time. In how much time? T by 3 hours. We should keep this in mind. And the remaining must be how much? That must be 1 by 3 route. That is st by 3. And the remaining time is how much? 2t by 3. Okay, so this should be kept in mind. So remaining at 40 kilometers per hour. That is what it has already told us. So we have the distance, we have the time. We can do one thing, and this is the first thing that we got definite is this. So if I divide this, what do I get? st by 3 whole upon 2t by 3. If I do that, I'll get 40. Let's see what happens. T and t gets cancelled, 3 gets cancelled, so s is 80. So our life has become very simple now. S is 80, and we can put that 80 over here in this equation to get the value of t. That's what we need to calculate. The scheduled arrival time of the bus is how much. So once I get the value of t, I will just add that to 9 a.m. to get the exact time, which will be either of the 4 options. So let's put 80 over there, and what do we get? 80t is equal to 60t plus 63s are 180, 210. So 20t must be equal to 210. That means t must be equal to 10.5 hours. 10.5 hours after 9 a.m. must be 7:30 p.m. So this can confuse people because there are a lot of variables involved. But if you do things step by step, statement by statement, you'll be getting the answer quickly. Thank you. Anil invests rupees 22,000 for 6 years in a scheme with 4% per annum, compounded half yearly. Okay, that means what would he have got? 22,000, that's the principal amount. 1 plus rate of interest is 4%, but it's half yearly, so rate of interest effectively is 2%. So this will be 1.02, and time is 6 years. In 6 years, we have 12 half years, so power 12. That is the maturity amount. Separately, Sunil invests a certain amount in the same scheme for 5 years and then reinvests this entire amount he receives at the end of 5 years for certain amount. We don't know what the amount is. Let that be X. Okay. So X times 1.02. 5 years, that means 10 half years. Okay. For 1 year and the end, the 6th year, he invests all this amount at 10% simple interest. That means he would have obtained 1.1 times. 10% is 0.1. So this is what he must have obtained at the end of 6 years. They're equal. So what is the initial investment made by Sunil? An easy question. This is. So if you see here, things get cancelled out pretty well. There's 1.02 whole square. Because there's 10, they'll cancel out, right? 10, 12. So 10 powers cancel out, only 2 are left. So now we have this whole upon 1.1 will be the value of X. Wow, so beautiful. Point goes out, 0 comes here. When 2's are, so 2000 is what we have. 2000 multiplied by square of 1.02. What is square of 1.02? It's, I think, 1.0404. Is my thought right? I think it's right. So what do we get now? We have these 3 zeros. This goes there, right? Okay, 22,000 is 1,000, right? Well, 22,000. So this 2,000. 1 0 is extra. That was my mistake. So, well, cool. So now this, what exactly happens? This point goes out because we have 4 digits after decimal. So 2 into this is 2080. Do we have that option? Yes, it's there in option A. All you have to take care about is decimal values, how many points are there. That's all. Thank you. The question says the coordinates of the 3 vertices of a triangle are this, this, and this. Then the radius of the in circle of the triangle is essentially you have to find the in radius. Okay. There are multiple ways of doing it. Let me, you know what? I just love graphs because that gives us the exact shape or almost a similar shape. So 1, 2 is one of the vertices. So if 1, 2 is one of the vertices, what does that mean? 1, 2, let us say this is 1, this is 2, so this is the vertex. Okay. 7 and 2, so let this be 7 and 2. 1, 2, 7, 2. And then we have 1, 10. So it will be 1. The x coordinate is same. 1, 10 must be here. Somewhere, I'm not drawn to the scale, but the size will not be same to the scale, but shape will be same. So if I join this now, what do I get? What do I get if I join this now? Let me join this. Wow, I get a right angle triangle, isn't it? See, because the base is 2 steps. This base is 2 steps above x-axis, and the perpendicular is 1 step away from the y-axis. So we have a proper right angle triangle. Great. Also, we can definitely determine what's the length of perpendicular 1, 2 to 110. So there will be no change in the x coordinate, changes in y. 2 becomes 10. So basically this will be 8 units perpendicular. Here 1 becomes 7, so 6 units. That will be the value of the base. And this Pythagoras theorem. 6 square plus 8 square is 100. Square root is 10. This will be 10. And even the Pythagorean triplet, 6, 8, 10 is a triplet, right? Double of 3, 4, 5. The very famous triplet 3, 4, 5. Its double is 6, 8, 10. That is what we have. Now we also know the in radius of a right angle triangle specifically. Don't come bombarding at me when I say that in radius is P plus B minus H upon 2. I'm also saying this happens only for right angle triangle. And that is why this question is something which we could have done quickly. So P here is 8, B here is 6, H here is 10, 8 plus 6 minus 10 upon 2. The answer is 2. Right? 14 minus 10 is 4, 4 upon 2 is 2, and we get the answer. This is a question which was very similar to what I did in the Quant formula revision class on 23rd November, just before CAT. Right? If you have watched that, you must be remembering. You must remember it. Okay. So it says when Rajesh's age was same as the present age of Garima, the ratio of their ages was 3:2. All right. Okay. Kind of confuses. Rajesh's ages was same as the present age of Garima. Okay. So Rajesh's past age is equal to present age of Garima. Then the ratio of their ages was 3:2. Was. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me write past, then let me write present over here. All right. Here I have Rajesh, and here I have the lady Garima, and let me try to make something over here. Okay, we try to fill in some values. Okay. When Rajesh's age was same as the present age of Garima. Okay, that means this and this must be same. So when this was the case, the ratio of their ages was 3:2. Okay. So when is it 3:2? That is what we need to determine. Is it 3 here and 2 here? Not really. So when this event happened, when the Rajesh's age was same as the present age of Garima, at that event, the ratio was 3:2. So basically, let us say if Rajesh was 3 years old, Garima must be 2 years old. I'll make it as simple as possible. Okay, now as the question says, this and this are equal. So basically, let's write 2 over here. People can use variables x, y, make an equation, end up spending 1 minute to solve the equation. Yeah, that's a great technique, but this is how we can do it in 10 seconds. 2 becomes 3 in the world of ratios. So what becomes 2? There's 1 less. It must be 1, right? In the past. Okay, now it says when Garima's age becomes the same as the that is future. So now I'm doing it in a chronological sequence. When Garima's age becomes same as present age of Rajesh, that means now Rajesh's present age is 3, Garima becomes 3 years old. That will happen in 1 year, right? So this guy will become 4 years old. Obviously, they are not 4 or 3 years old. They can be, we don't really know. They're the same ratio, but why to use those ratio and end up spending a lot of time when we can do it as beautifully as this? The answer is 4:3. Thank you. Okay, we need to find some of the infinite series as given here. So I can just, kind of, if I expand this, if I open all the brackets, what do I get? 1 by 5 into 1 by 5 is 1 by 5 square. 1 by 5 into 1 by 7 is 1 by 35. So let me write it like this. All right. Then we have plus 1 by 5 square into 1 by 5 square. That is 1 by 5 to the power 4 minus 1 by 5 into 1 by 7 whole square. That is 1 by 35 square. Wow. As we can see, there are 2 different kinds of infinite GP over here. If I open the last bracket as well, I'll get 1 upon 5 to the power 6 minus 1 upon 35 to the power 3 and so on till infinity. So see here. This and multiple terms like this will be forming one GP, one infinite GP, and similarly this and multiple terms like that will be forming the other GP. So all you have to do is, we all of us know one simple thing. The sum of any infinite GP is given by A upon 1 minus R, where A is the first term, R is the common ratio. Okay, so the series that I have marked with white, the first term is 1 by 5 square, it is 1 by 25. And common ratio is also 1 by 5 square, so that is what we have. Great. And the one that I have marked with green, let's take minus common. First term is 1 by 35, and common ratio is also 1 by 35 because it is getting multiplied by 1 by 35 again and again successively. So we'll have 1 minus 1 upon 35. That is how we'll be able to calculate our answer. Let's do that. So here we have 1 upon 24. Here we have what? 1 upon 34. Let's solve it. 24, 34. What's the LCM? 24, 600. Okay, this will be coming out to be 816. 34 minus 24 is 10. Let's cancel it out. 2 5s are 10. 2 4 0 8. Do we have that? Yes, we have that as option D. Hope you enjoyed the solution. Thank you. Even though this question looks like an arithmetic question, it's essentially an algebra question. A fruit seller has a stock of mangoes, bananas, and apples with at least one fruit of each type. At the beginning of the day, the number of mangoes make up 40% of his stock. All right. I can do one thing. If there are, let's say, total, in this basket, there are, let's say, T fruits in total. So 40% of them are mangoes. That means 40% is 2 by 5. So 2T by 5 are the mangoes. That is how it's made, right? I remember my childhood. Okay, these are mangoes. Well, and 96 bananas, we don't know whether they're 96 bananas, no. That is what we know about it. So basically, the other two fruits, there are banana and what do we have? Apples, right? So banana and apple, these two guys would be making up, right? Looks like a chili, maybe. Now looks banana. So these two are making up the remaining, that is 3T by 5. Combined there, 3T by 5. That is what we know. So we can picturize this. Okay. Now, let's go to the question. It says that day he sells half of the mangoes. That means he sold T by 5 mangoes. 2T by 5, half is T by 5. 96 bananas, that's great. And 40% of the apples. How many apples do we have? We don't really know. Let the apples be A. So he sells 40% of the apples. That is 2 by 5 of all the apples. That is 2A by 5. That is what he has sold. This guy has sold. When he sells this, all of it, he ends up selling 50% of the fruits. That means this is T by 2. 50% is 1 by 2. The smallest possible total number of fruits in the stock at the beginning of the day is what? We need to find the value of T, the smallest possible value of T. So, by the way, there's one thing for sure. If you see here, T to be divisible by 5 and 2 must be a multiple of 5 and 2. That's multiple of 10. That is for sure. And also, A to be divisible by 5 because we have integral number of fruits, not fractional, right? So A must also be a multiple of 5. That is what we need to keep in mind. Okay, let's solve it now. So what do we get? If I send it there, I'll get 3 T by 10 will be equal to 2A by 5 plus 96. I hope I'm doing it right. Okay. What can be done now? Is that fine? Is that fine? Yeah, looks fine to me. Looks totally fine to me. Okay, so 96 here. We can do one more thing. Some basic stuff can be done. Let's send 10 over there, 3 in the denominator. So we have T is equal to, this 10 goes there. So we get 4A by 3. Okay. And 10 by 3, 32 times 10 is 320. That is what we have with us. So now, this A has to be a multiple of 5 and also has to be a multiple of 3. Something is multiple of 3 and 5 both, it's a multiple of 15. So minimum value that A can take, A min must be 5 into 3, that is 15. Let's put 15 over here and get the answer. So what do we get? 4 into 15 by 3 plus 320, that is 3 5s are 4 5s are 20 plus 320 is 340. The correct answer will be 340. The main thing that should be kept in mind here is that A is also a multiple of 3. If you do not multiply this by 10 and divide by 3, probably you will get stuck. Thank you. If x and y satisfy the equation as given, then what is the value of x minus y? So for this, I will, do something real good. So okay, this is how the coordinate axis look like. We call this the first quadrant, we call this the second quadrant, we call this the third quadrant, and we call this the fourth quadrant. So here x and y both are greater than 0. Here x is less than 0 while y is greater than 0. Here x and y both are less than 0. In this case, x is greater than 0 and y is less than 0. So we'll solve for all the quadrants one by one. Okay. So let's take first quadrant. In the first quadrant, both x and y are greater than 0. So we'll get, if we solve this, we'll get 2x plus y is equal to 15. And you open this, we get x as 20. So if x is 20, for sure, if I put it x20 over here, 2 20s are 40. Y will be negative. Not possible. Inconsistent. X is positive and we get y as negative. That is not possible, right? So it cannot lie in first quadrant. This thing is rejected. Coming to second quadrant, where x is less than 0, y is greater than 0. If x is less than 0, if I open this, x gets cancelled out. So all we have is y is equal to 15 and x plus, so y is positive and x is equal to how much? It gets cancelled out, right? Y is positive. So x is equal to 20. Y is 15 and x is 20. Is that possible? Not really, because x has to be negative. So this is also rejected. Coming to third quadrant. In third quadrant, both are negative. So if this is negative, x gets cancelled out and y will be equal to 15. Goes against the entire thing, right? We cannot have y as positive. So this is also eliminated. No need to check for x. Coming to fourth quadrant, where x is positive while y is negative. In that case, we'll get 2x plus y here is equal to 15 because x is positive and y is negative. So this will be how much? 2x plus y is 15. So here, if I open the bracket, this is minus 5 minus 5. So x minus 2y must be equal to 20. Great. Now what? Okay, let's solve it. So if I solve this, multiply this by 2 and then subtract, what do I get? So here I'll get, let's multiply this by 2 and then subtract, okay? So 2x gets cancelled and then we have y minus 4, that is 5y must be equal to 15 minus 4, that is minus 25. So I get the value of y as minus 5. So far so good. Let's put the value of y here or here to get the value of x. I put it here, minus 5. I'm not solving it because that can be done orally. 2x minus 5 is 15, that means 2x is 20, or I can say x is 10. So x is 10 and y is minus 5. Is that possible? Yes. In fourth quadrant, x needs to be positive, y needs to be negative. It's satisfied. So now we need to find the value of x minus y. 10 minus is minus 5. So the answer is plus 15. That's the answer. Go with option A. Hope you enjoyed this solution. Thank you. Here it says if m and n are natural numbers such that n is greater than 1 and m to the power n is this, then m minus n is equal to what? What to do here? Can't do anything. The base, basically here we have two indices that are multiplied and then gives one single index. What has to be done? How can this be done? The base is not common, obviously. Neither the power is. But there is one thing that is there, in the powers, I can see that these two are, their HCF is, highest common factor is 5. Both are multiple of 5. The maximum common multiple of them is 5. Can that help us? Yes, that can help us. So let me write it like this. 2 to the power 5 into 5 multiplied by 3 to the power 5 into 8. Now I can do something, right? I can do one thing. I can take 2 to the power 5 into 3 to the power 8 like this and raise it to power 5. So now if I compare this with this, I get enough insight, right? So m will be equal to 2 to the power 5 into 3 to the power 8, while n will be equal to 5. So we have this information with us, isn't it? So how cool this looks now. Well, let us calculate. A lot of calculation is there. Okay, but we have to do that. Okay, 2 to the power 5 is 32. 3 to the power 8 is 3 to the power 4 square. 81 square is 6561. And okay, raised to power n is 5, right? This is the value of m. We need to find m minus n. So minus 5 is what we'll get. Okay, do we have an option like that? So I don't want to calculate, right? I want to do some smart trick. So if I multiply these two, the unit place will be 2. And if I subtract 5, I'll get 7 in the end. Do I have that option? I have 2 such options. I need to calculate, right? And they're both very close. In the end, we have 4, 7. Here in the end, we have 3, 7. But you know what? We can actually calculate the second last digit by multiplying what we actually want, isn't it? So 6561, if I multiply this by 32, the second last digit is what I am, interested in. 2 1s are 2, 2 6s are 12, whatever carry forward is, I don't really care. 3 1s are 3. So in the end, I have 5 2. If I subtract 5 from it, I'll get 47 in the end. So I'll go with option A. No need to solve it completely. Calculators are there in the CAT, but what if we do it like this? Thank you. This is one of my favorite questions. Like my own slot was 2, and when I saw this question, I was really very happy. I'll tell you why. This question has got a pattern. A function f maps the set of natural numbers to whole numbers such that fxy is equal to fx fy plus fx plus fy for all xy, and fp is equal to 1 for every prime number p. That is the catch. The value of f 1,60,000 is what? All right. Let me do one thing. What if I try, okay, let's do one thing. First of all, because question says about prime, we can just factorize 1,60,000, right? We can do that. There are 4 zeros, so there must be 4 pairs of 2 and 5, and the 16, that means 2 to the power 4. So overall, we'll be having 8 2s and 4 5s. I hope I'm right. Am I? Yes, I am. All right. Now, so this says if I use this the functional equation here, I'll get f of 2 to the power 8 multiplied by 5 to the power 4 is equal to what? That is what I need to calculate. Okay. What can be done? Can I do something? So before using all our brains, energy, efforts, time in trying to solve this, let us do something more beautiful. And that is, what if I had only f of 2 multiplied by 5? What would I have obtained? fxy is fx into fy. I would have got f2 multiplied by f5 plus f2 plus f5. So as you can see here, what I basically did, because I know that if there's the function is on prime, I'll always get 1. So here I get 1 into 1 plus 1 plus 1. That is equal to 3, right? Okay. All right. What if I make it, I make it like this? What if I say f of p multiplied by q? So I'm assuming both p and q to be primes. In that case, what I get? I'll get fp multiplied by fq plus fp plus fq. So from this, again I'll get 1 into 1, right? fp is 1, fq is 1, because p and q both are primes, right? So 1 into 1 plus 1 plus 1, I'll get 3 again. So what I see here, I see that if I have 2 primes, I'll get 3 only, right? What if I take, let's say, 3 primes? So I'm taking f of p multiplied by q multiplied by r, but I'm assuming p, q are all to be primes. In that case, what's going to happen? I can write it as f of p multiplied by q, right? I'm breaking it. Multiplied by f of r plus f of p multiplied by q plus f of r. The similar fashion that we have expanded everything. So fp into q is already 3, that we know. And FRSR is also prime, I'll get 1. So 3, this is 3 into 1. 3 into 1 plus 3 plus 1. 3 into 1, this is from here, I can get 3 plus 1. So what do I get? 3 into 1 is 3, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1 is 7. It's 7 that I get. So keep on doing it, I'll find a pattern, right? So I can see here, if I use 2 primes, I got 3. If I use 3 primes, I got 7. 3, 7, is that a pattern? And if I use only 1 prime, I get 1. So pattern looks like 1, 3, 7, depending on number of primes that we're using. So if I use 1 prime, I get 1. If I use 2 primes, I get 3. If I use 3 primes, I get 7. what is it actually? This is 2 to the power 1 minus 1. This is 2 square minus 1. This is 2 cube minus 1, and so on. So, baby, if this is the right pattern, then if we have 4 primes, I would have got 2 to the power 4 minus 1. Do you want to check that? You can check that with this. So if I take F, P, Q, R, S also, F, P, Q, R, S, in that case, I can break it as F, P, Q, R into Fs plus F, P, Q, R plus Fs. So this will be 7 into 1 plus 7 plus 1. That is 7 plus 7 plus 1 is 15. That is what is happening over here. So if we have, let's say, overall, let's say we have n primes, I'll get what? The answer will be 2 to the power n minus 1. How many primes do I have here? 8 times 2, 4 times 5. We have 12 primes. So answer will be 2 to the power 12, that is 4096, minus 1, that is 4095. Do we have that option? Obviously we have that option. Option D is the correct one. Thank you. ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to CD. The sides AB, AD and BC when extended intersect at point E. If AB is 2 and CD is 1. Okay, ABCD is trapezium. So let me do one thing. A, B, C, D. AB is 2 and CD is 1. Great. And perimeter of ABCD is 6. Okay. The perimeter is 6. What does that mean? So 2 plus 1 is 3 already. That means AD plus BC must be equal to 3 because total sum should be 6. Okay. Which also means if I assume AD to be X, this BC will be 3 minus X. So far, so good. Now let us go to the first part of the question, which says it gets, when we extend that, they meet at the point E. This point is E. By the way, this is parallel to this, isn't it? That is how trapezium is made. If it's that parallel, triangle ECD and triangle EAB, they are similar triangles, right? They're similar triangles. That's something which we understand. As we see here, that CD upon AB is equal to 1 by 2. So we can safely assume that ED upon EA will be equal to EC upon EB must be equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2. So having said that, it's 1 by 2. So if ED is 1 part, EA is 2 parts. That means ED and DA must be equal. So ED should also be X and EC should also be 3 minus X, right? 1 is to 2. Cool. There's 1 part, there's 2 parts. 1 part, 2 part. Let's add all of it to find the perimeter of triangle AEB. X plus X is 2X. 3 minus X, 3 minus X. That's 6 minus 2X. 2X gets cancelled. So we have 6 plus 2. The answer is 8. 2 is here. This one won't be counted in the perimeter of triangle EAB. So it's an easy question, right? By the way, tell me also, in the comments that how many questions have you done correctly and how many questions were there which you felt could be done but could not do, and how many questions are there in which the solution that you see here are beautiful. Thank you. All the values of X satisfy the inequality as given. Okay, so here we can see clearly that at X equal to minus 5, this becomes 0. At X equal to 3 by 2, this becomes 0. So basically minus 5 and 3 by 2 are the critical points on which function, this function would not even exist, right? So these are critical points and we have to watch the behavior of the graph in this, right? What is going to happen? Perfect. So we have 3 different regions here, isn't it? This is region number 1, where X is less than minus 5. This is region number 2, where X is greater than minus 5 but less than 3 by 2. And this is region number 3, in which X is greater than 3 by 2. Okay, that is what we have. Now let us try to look at all the regions one by one. Region number 1, when X is less than minus 5. So in that case, if X is less than minus 5, then both these values will be negative. So there will be no change. We can just cross multiply and I will get 2x minus 3 is less than equal to x plus 5. So if we solve this, what do we get? X is less than equal to 8. So region number 1 is x is less than minus 5, and here we get x less than equal to 8. So basically the values that satisfy this region will be those in which x is less than minus 5. So if you look at the options, in A we have that, in B also we have that, in C and D we don't have that. C and D will automatically be eliminated. Let's talk about region number 2. So in region number 2, where x lies between two values, that is minus 5 and 3 by 2, here what is going to happen? Here, if you put anything that is here minus 5, anything above minus 5, so the value of x will be, here the function will be negative. But if you take like positive beyond minus 5, above minus 5 and below 3 by 2, this will be negative. So basically one will be positive or negative, so this inequality would change. Now if you cross multiply, there's 2x minus 3 and x plus 5. Now the inequality will change because one of them will be negative, right? Okay. Once we do that, let's try to solve it out. So I'll get x is greater than or equal to 8. Region lies between minus 5 to 3 by 2, and here we get x greater than or equal to 8. That is inconsistent. That is why this region will not belong to the solution. Coming to region number 3. In region 3, both are positive. So basically we can again do the same here did over here. Okay. So we'll get the same value. X is less than or equal to. So here in this region, x is greater than 3 by 2. And if we solve the same equation, I'll get x is less than equal to 8. 3 by 2 and 8, that is where it should lie. Greater than 3 by 2 and less than equal to 8. Which option do we have here? This. We'll go with option B. Thank you. But there is one more way to do it, the one more way to do this, because this is something which some people do not understand. These kind of questions also be solved by putting in the values, right? So if you see here, if I put x is 0, let's put x equal to 0. Where? Here. Why 0? Because 0 lies between minus 5 and 3 by 2. It lies in between. If I put x equal to 0, I'll get 1 by 5 is less than equal to 1 over minus 3. Is that true? Not really. So this, any option which will be having this is not possible. So x can never be 0. Can never be 0. Which option is there in which x is can never be 0? So if you look at C, x can be 0 in this interval here as well. So C and D automatically they get cancelled out. All right. And in this we can see that okay, x cannot be 0. So obviously we are not getting enough insight over here. So what needs to be done? Just to think that x can be greater than 3 by 2, and less than equal to 8. For that we can do just one thing. We can put 9 over here. The moment you put 9, we'll be able to get. So if it satisfies, then this will be correct, A, otherwise B will be correct. Let's put x equal to 9. Put x equal to 9, I get 1 upon 14 is less than equal to 1 upon 2 9s are 18 minus 3. Is this less? No, it's not less. So x cannot be 9. X has to be in this interval. So this is also one of the ways to solve this by putting in the values. That's called induction. Thank you. In this question, we have a number 3 to the power 333. When it's divided by 11, what's the remainder? All right. So we can use Fermat's little theorem. They also call it Euler's theorem. So it's like whenever we have a number in this form, a raised to power p minus 1 mod p. Now what is mod? Modular function, remainder function. So p here is prime. So whenever we have this will always be equal to 1. Also, we should know that a and p should be co-prime. All right. So this is the simplest way we can solve this question. Now, having said that, here we have 3 to the power 333, here we have 11. What does that mean? By this, I can say, okay, 3 and 11 are co-prime. Yes, they are. They itself are prime, so they will be co-prime. Also, with this formula, we can say 3 to the power 10 mod 11 must be equal to 1. That's cool. So we can also say if it's 3 to the power 20, 30, whatever multiple of 10, we'll always get 1. So this is what we know by this formula. Okay. Now this is 333. What is it actually? It is 3 to the power 10 into 30 plus 3 mod 11. That is what we need to calculate. So I can just break it as 3 to the power 10 into 30 multiplied by 3 to the power 3 mod 11. And here we get the answer. So for this, we'll get 1 as the remainder from this theorem. And so we'll be left only with, this becomes 1. So 1 multiplied by 3 cube is 27. 27 mod 11. So 11 2s are 22. Remainder is 5. Let's take 5 and move ahead. Thank you. In this question, there's a quadratic equation and the roots are alpha and beta. The equation is 3x square plus lambda x minus 1 is equal to 0. But satisfy the equation 1 upon alpha square plus 1 upon beta square is equal to 15. We have to find the value of square of alpha cube plus beta cube. So let us, let's take this thing first. So if I take that, I'll have, I'm writing it here, I'll have alpha square plus beta square upon alpha square beta square must be equal to 15. So far, so good. Well, what can be done? Here we can see that the sum of roots, if I add alpha and beta, what do I get? Minus lambda by 3. That's great. And if I solve product of roots, alpha times beta, this will be minus 1 by 3. Great. Now we have these values, and so our life will become easier now. Moreover, what is this? So we need to know what we have and what we have to find. So to find this alpha cube plus beta cube can also be represented in a certain way, and that will be, if I write this as alpha plus beta whole cube minus 3 alpha beta times alpha plus beta, and I take the square of this entire thing, that's what I have. So basically, as we know that alpha cube plus beta cube can be written as this. All right. Wow. And I think a lot of things have already been solved. So let's put the values. Alpha plus beta is minus lambda by 3. If I put it here, minus lambda by 3. Okay, what is that? Minus lambda by 3, and if you take the cube, moreover, I can do one more thing. Let me take alpha plus beta common here, right? So that is, in that way, we'll have alpha plus beta common. I'm left with alpha plus beta whole square over here, and then minus 3 times alpha and beta, taking it common. So this is what we have. Now we can calculate it pretty easily. So alpha plus beta is minus lambda by 3. All right. Alpha plus beta whole square will be lambda square by 9. Perfect. And this is inside the bracket. Minus 3 times alpha beta. 3 times minus 3 times minus 1 by 3 is plus 1. Bracket close, and then this is what we need to calculate. So basically now all we have to do is find the value of lambda, and that will be giving us our answer. Great. Let's try and do that. So here, what can be done? I can write this as this thing as alpha plus beta whole square minus 2 alpha beta, that is the numerator, whole upon square of alpha times beta. This is given as 15. Let's put the values from here. So if I put the value, I'll just write it here. Okay. So alpha plus beta whole square minus lambda by 3 whole square is lambda square by 9. All right, minus 2 times alpha beta, so plus 2 by 3 whole upon alpha beta whole square. I'll get 1 by 9 here. This guy is equal to 15 on solving this. I get the value of lambda, right? So let's do that. Okay. So I'll have now in the numerator I take the LCM. So I get 9, and this will be lambda square plus 6. The 1 by 9 goes there. 15 by 9, that will be 5 by 3. 5 by 3. This gets cancelled out. 3 is here, goes there. So we have lambda square plus 6 is equal to 3 into 5 is 15, which also means the value of lambda square is equal to 15 minus 6 is 9. Well, lambda square is 9. Wow. Value of lambda square is 9. Perfect. So what can be the value of lambda? It can be plus 3 or minus 3, right? We don't know. Let's put the value here. So lambda square is 9. We put 9 here. 9 upon 9 is basically 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 times, so minus lambda by 3. So the thing is, here we have a square in the outside. So if I take the value of lambda to be plus 3 or minus 3, its square will be 9 only. So there will be not much of a problem. All right, let's do that. So if I take, let's say 3, what if I take the same thing? If I take 3, okay, this is 2, minus 3 upon 3 is minus 1, minus 1 into 2 is minus 2, square is plus 4. And even if I take lambda is minus 3, that won't really matter because we have a square outside. So the answer that we get is 4. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.